Hey Zoomers, welcome back to World Zoom. As always, appreciate your support and watching all the videos. Last few have certainly been, okay. I've tried to move away the last couple times from Vitali and his troubles in the Philippine prison system and riling up the Filipino president and the Justice Department, but new things just keep popping up almost on a daily basis, and if not daily, certainly on a weekly basis. So now something new just hit today, and I thought I'd mention it to you. And that is apparently Vitaly's unposted videos from items that he had videotaped prior to his arrest have now been obtained by the Manila police. Or certainly the Justice Department, Immigration. In fact, I'm not sure who actually has these videos, but they're starting to be released in bits and pieces along with an explanation of what was going on in the videos. You know, it just continues to go from bad to worse for him, and to have kept these items and not deleted them, probably was not his best idea. And maybe he just didn't have time. We saw when he was taken under arrest, there wouldn't have been time to be able to salvage that or delete it. But he has multiple videos that he shot in the Tondo. The Tondo is Manila, and so therefore the Philippines' largest slum. And we have seen many videos that have come out of the Tondo. You have to really be careful about videoing there because, it's one of the poorest areas in all of the Philippines. And, there's nothing really very funny about walking through a slum and taking videos of people really struggling for basic necessities. They're living in, cardboard huts or metal huts, no running water, certainly no air con of any kind, no electricity. In a lot of cases, there's just the roads are also the streams of the waste and things that float out into the sea, into the bay. And, there's been many of those videos. I'm not in the least entertained by them, but he compounded it even by doing some crazy things in the Tondo in a place that, you're pretty much safe to visit. You're not necessarily safe to certainly make fun of them or steal things or cause, a ruckus in that area. And that's exactly what he did. So the first of the videos shows an outright theft of a tricycle taxi. The tuk-tuks, the tricycles, the little thing where the guy's riding on a motorbike. It's hooked on the back so you can put, in normal places in Cebu or Dumaguete, you might have, 3 or 4 people. However, in Manila, they'll pack up whatever they these are just little undersized motorcycles that, have a hard time carrying 2 people. So you can imagine when it's pulling, another 1,000 pounds of the taxi plus, 10 people on it. But the video shows him taking 2 times. He stole it twice. The other one was basically unattended, although the owner was standing there. The other one, he physically got on the seat behind him and picked him up and moved him off, and then actually took his tricycle down and around the corner. I don't know. That seems to be a little bit different than the others where he took it 15 yards and then stopped while he was filming. In this case, he took it, went around the corner. He intentionally, it looks intentional, from there crashed into the back of another a motorbike taxi, a tricycle taxi. He broke the leg, or at least the foot. You can see it's pretty obviously broken. It's swollen to the size of, a softball in the ankle area. But he crashed into the back. He broke this guy's foot. And then you could see him tapping on the leg and sort of hitting the guy's foot while he was obviously, in pain. And then he also sideswiped and sort of intentionally rammed another taxi, another motorbike from there. So there's a thought that there's going to be new charges pending they could be very, relatively serious, intentionally causing bodily harm, fleeing the scene of an accident, a theft of a motor vehicle, some damage to someone's livelihood, all sorts of things. To add to that, there's other parts of the video where he's sort of making fun of the Tondo, making fun of the people that live in the Tondo area. And, I bet he wish he would have known that a large number of the people that he is going to be living with are, it's the largest slum. And with the largest slum comes a high arrest rate, a high crime rate. So a lot of the folks that are going to be in prison are certainly going to be from the Tondo. And and a lot of them speak English just by nature of the work that they do and the things that they do. So when they see this video and they see him making fun of maybe a 12 or 13-year-old girl that's cleaning her clothes in sort of a side area, sort of the Philippine Bay, but not really. She's cleaning, and he has some nasty things to say about that in hearing view of her and making her upset. He then stops two Filipinas, asking them sort of inappropriate questions. We see that nonsense all the time on Philippine blogger videos, but those are going to get in the hands and be viewed by some of his cellmates and some of the people in the prison. And I imagine they're going to have some pretty substantial things to say about that. They're not going to be too pleased about him defaming the folks in the Tondo or older, younger Filipinas, making them cry in general. You keep asking me about the conditions of his prison, and I keep seeing and hearing these things that he's in some sort of isolation or in a cell by himself. To the best of my knowledge, I've never heard of a place in the prison that he is in, immigration or otherwise, in the main prison, that would have a separate holding. Now, some of the bosses, the big bosses of the housing units, are known to have areas where they stay by themselves. They've earned that right over a number of years. They've worked their way to the top of the hierarchy, and so they get their own area, their own sleep space. But someone coming in, coming for a week or 10 days in, is not going to have their own spot. There is no protected custody in the Philippines. So if you come in and you have a crime like he has, or you have a crime of drug addictions, which is a crime there. You have a crime of harming a woman. You have a crime of harming a child. You're in general population. There's no PCing up, if you know what I mean. No protective custody where you can go to the correctional officers like you can in the U.S. and say, hey, listen, I'm in danger. I've got a bad bad crime. They're going to know about it. I may not make it through the night. I can't walk the yard. I can't be out in the recreational areas. He does not have that opportunity because it does not exist. You're assigned a hierarchy, and pretty much everyone in the prison knows what you did. So when I hear that he is in a cell by himself, I mean, yeah, he could have met with the warden and made some significant headways into having quality or better housing. A single cell is a little bit past the realm of possibility, in my opinion. Just that those are few and far between. There are several rooms where there's 2 and 4 inmates in there, and that could be a possibility where you actually have a mattress and a place to get that off the floor because of the rats and all the things that are down on the ground, and put that up on the bed. That's a possibility if he's paid enough to the big boss and to the correctional officers or the warden. That would be a possibility, but thinking he's living in style in his own cell is not something I've seen or heard of. And you've seen those videos where guys have been in the Philippine prisons, Americans, Australians, Brits, for 6, 8, 10 years. And none of them ever said, hey, there's an opportunity to go have your own cell. No, I mean, I've not heard that. that would not be the norm for that country, and I wouldn't expect that to be the case for him, regardless of where he's incarcerated. So anyway, from World Zoom, let me know what you think about these unposted videos. Have you seen them yet? They're starting to make their appearances. They've obviously been leaked by the authorities, I think intentionally to further enhance their case against Vitali, but it's just another nail, and he just keeps digging and digging and digging. So from World Zoom, I appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.